All right, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Scott. Hope you're doing good. Good morning. Happy. Hope you're having a good weekend. Pretty light weekend here so far. Good morning, Missy. A little late today. Went and had brunch with some friends, and I was like, well, I could still stream afterwards. Doesn't have to be at 10 o'clock. I'm not beholden to shareholders or anything. So here we are at noon. We'll go for a couple hours doing some Lego design stream stuff. And yeah, so I have some good times. If you are, some reason the chat isn't really working for me. Again. Interesting. It always does this. Like, I don't understand what the deal is with the chat. Oh, there we go. It's popping in. For some reason. Hello, Bev. How are you? Thanks for being here. So, today we're working on some instructions to start off with. There was a, hello, Mayo. A couple comments on YouTube about getting some instructions for stuff, and I didn't have them, and I kind of pushed back a little, and I feel bad about it. But at the same time, I think it's both flattering and annoying, and I don't know how better to say that as soon as you post something Lego related, the very first thing people ask for is the instructions for it, because they want to build. They think it's so cool, they want to build it themselves, but at the same time, they're like, just assume that everybody makes instructions as they're building it and not just building it. Especially stuff like digitally understand, because as you're creating it digitally, you're creating a record of how you're doing it. And so there should be instructions, and the software makes them for you just as easily as you would make them yourself. The ones I find kind of funny are the hand-built ones, like the real life photos of models, especially large ones, that come with instructions automatically. They're like 10, 15, 20,000 piece model, and they're like, you don't happen to have instructions for that, do you? It's like, do you think that's what I was doing this for? Like, it takes a long time just to do a 500 piece or 1,000 piece instructions. I'm not 10,000 pieces. No, thank you. That would take years. Well, not years, maybe a couple weeks, but it would take a really long time. Yeah, they might think so. Like, I appreciate the fact that it, but also Google is your friend. If you see a Lego thing that you're not familiar with and do a little search on it and see that it's not, it's, I don't want to say it's lazy entitlement, but I feel like sometimes it's lazy entitlement. I don't know. There's a whole subcategory of Ask Reddit, and it's like, why don't you just put it in a search engine? Somebody's asked the question already. Like, you don't need to re-ask the question. Anyway, so that said, somebody did ask for some, and I have put instructions out online for Microfighters. This one wasn't one of them. They asked very nicely, and I said I didn't have it and I would get to it, but then kept asking, and I was just like, okay, I'll get to it. I'll get to it when you can point to me a good micro minifigure for this one set, knowing full well there isn't one, and that kit bashing it would be a problem, and the custom ones were upwards of $200, right? So they did the research just as much as I have and figured out the same thing. So I'm like, well, there you go. I can't, I don't want to make this for myself, honestly, because I can't. But we'll see if we can do it. Like, I did some research and found some purist kit bashing for some minifigures, so we're going to give it a shot. So, would you take your Infinity design instructions? Yeah. Well, and I don't think Infinity for the stadium. I think it's relatively... The stadium itself is relatively modular and pretty basic. Like, I did enough of it knowing that, like, you can build these big things in groups. You can just say, build this, have 8 ready to go. They're going to be used in here. But I mean, they're just like leaning. There's not a lot to them. It's leaning sections, and you can just say fill in this area however you want. This part might be a little much. You'd have to say, okay, I'm not going to give you instructions for every placement of every cheese wedge. Make it look like this. This is your final image, right? You know, so this is one module. This is another module. The ones that might get a little hairy are like the roof is a little hairy. I want to say something though. Even though this is being held up by just these corner plates right here, this is very structurally sound having built it. It does have, I want to say it has a 3 to 4 degree sag, but it's not much. And I'm really happy about it. I do have some pylons, some stanchions right here going up to the corners just to kind of hold it up, but it's good. Like, I'm going to test moving this to Bricks and Brews at Austin Beer Works in a couple weeks, just to make sure it moves okay. I want to make sure I can take the roof apart and all the lights and everything to make sure it all travels well. All the modules can get in the box, but whatever. Yeah. So there's 10,000 pieces here. There's no way I'd ever do instructions, but that's beside the point. I've forgotten which model they were talking about, though, in the interim. One of them, somebody else commented that they were curious about some instructions for the V-Wings, and I do have those. I just don't have them up on Rebrickable. I'll have to redo the watermarking on that. So let me see. Cerberus Super Tank. Oh, and the Cerberus Dreadnought. Okay, so that was a problem I was running into. Cerberus Dreadnought. I was looking through my files, and I know what the Cerberus Dreadnought looks like. It's the... So there's two different ships. There's the... I'm going to have to look this up by name because I don't think I remember what the actual name of it is. And I'm sorry if this screws up the chat, but CIS Separatist Dreadnought. I'm just blanking on the name. Providence class. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So the Providence class, I should have... Providence class. There we go. Now, the reason I never built the Providence class is because there's a character named Admiral Trench, and you can see in here my attempt at an Admiral Trench. Admiral Trench is a very unique figure in that he is mostly spider, and we'll take a look at him here. Apparently there's an actual person named Admiral Trench. So Admiral Trench is this spider person with a... Later on they have robot arms. This is after an accident, but you can see they got a big cloak. They've got 3 arms each. They've got a spider head, right? So this custom minifig, and I think this is Big Kid Bricks, was $200. Yeah, $250 for this figure. I'm not getting this figure, but this is the one that I was looking at initially, where I was like, that's very good. Custom mold. They figured out how to do custom arm parts for having 3 arms in there. I don't think there's a better way to do it. Other people have tried to figure out a more purist approach. This is probably something akin to what I would go for. And I don't even think... I think this is a custom, like, torso print. It looks like he's got his arms crossed in front of him. My guess is on the back. Oh, this is Pinterest. He's got more arms on his back. Right? So this is what I'm working with. Now I think somebody's done. Yeah, you can see the arms on his back. Oh, hero blocks. Okay, so I might be able to actually buy this one. And this one would be great because I could fold the legs to have them fit in the ship. The other option was, let's see if I can find it. Somebody actually did like this, where they put like a spider head on. Oh, that's the printed one. Okay. Somebody put a spider head on basically a 3-armed yeah, you can get, I may have to look up this one, but there is a spider head. So if you can figure out how to put these extra arms on, or you just get the 2-arm module and just say he's got extra arms hidden in the back somewhere, you know, whatever it takes. So if we're looking at Studio, this one's already done, the ship's already done, but if I wanted to do the figure, I don't think they have a spider head in Studio. Like if I just put spider in there, that's what I get. But I know there are pieces that have like spider faces. So if we're looking at Bricklink, let's go to Bricklink. The whole reason I haven't done instructions for this one is like I can't build it for myself because I can't make the figure. So why would I make the ship for myself? There's probably a spider in my garage. Yeah, just put a spider on it. I want more than 25 per page. I also wish I could get... Can we make the list? I wish these were bigger. Like this, the thumbnails. I thought there was a head that had multiple eyes on it, or a helmet that was a spider helmet. Like a custom minifig that had a spider head. I thought there was a thing. These are all Spider-Mans from the Upper West Side Spider-Mans. Yeah, May, you got them Australian spiders that like they'll kill you by thinking about you. I may have to go just say spider head. Don't even have it in here. Interesting. Mech Ops, how's it going? Good to see ya. Yeah, this. So there's this guy. You can use this guy. Alien Shima Spider. I doubt this is going to be in Studio, but we're going to get this part number. And just double check. Yeah, it's not. So this is what I've kind of dealt with. Like, you can also get... I think they put minifig arms in here. The double arms. I thought they did. Maybe it's printed and you need to look up the printed version. Dual arm. Double arm. Oh, maybe I can look it up by part. This is, what was the dude's name from Solo? It was it Rio Durant? And this is 6 parts, and this is... Damn, I thought this was in here, but apparently it's not. Do they only come in this color? That's the other thing. Yeah. That's weird. I thought they came in more colors than this. Huh, alright. Yeah, I really thought the double arms came in more sets. Like at least 2 or 3. But apparently they only come in this one. Double pair. Oh, okay. Can I just get arm double? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Maybe if I just did this one. Nope. Okay. Do they really not only... They only come in that one color? Beach pizza, then go fishing. Nice. That sounds lovely. Alright, so knowing that I have to get dark blue, but I can't get it with this, I'm going to ditch this figure and we'll at least work on the instructions for this. So this is an older model. I can't remember what exactly, what the date on this is, if I even have. So it's from about 7 years ago. One of the early ones that I did. So there's probably a lot of construction bits in here that I'd redo. So this may be a process also of going through and redoing what is already in here. So I think what else I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these legs, and I'm just going to give him legs to be able to sit. It's fine, whatever. I don't really need him to be all that great. Why are those 30 to start? It's peculiar. So he's got a little tall neck here because we tried to get the spider on it. I think I can lower this a little bit. Lower that a little bit. And lower this a little bit. And then attach that. So I don't know if he's going to fit in here with that big spider back or not, but probably not. Okay, so let's get rid of the spider back. Which means we can also get rid of this neck clip. And we can lower both of these things down. Just so we have somebody sitting in here. That looks entirely too low, but whatever. Why are his arms so high up there? Oh, I think initially, like, I had made a... Like, I toyed with the idea of, like, putting multiple ones on there just to, like, smush them on and make it look good, but let's make an actual person now so he can fit somebody in there. Just to see if I need to adjust it at all. So this looks like I need a seat in here, so we'll do a tile. I'll do our regular seat tile. I'll do dark gray. Okay, that should be better. Okay, good. What's up, Johnny? How's it going? But please what them, Mayo? Burn them? Kill them? Smush them? I was telling Beth, because I love spiders. Every time I see a spider in the house, I just kind of leave it. Like, I don't do anything with it. We don't see them all that often. The thing I've learned about spiders in your house is they know when you're not there. They know when you're asleep. They have a schedule too. They come out and do stuff when you're not around. If you see a spider, it's because your schedules are off. They're there to like hunt down other spiders for you or other bugs for you, right? Yay, race preparations. So, and then also if you take a spider that lives in your house and put it outside, it's going to die because it's used to living in your house. It feeds off of the inside bugs. It feeds off of whatever detritus of you gets left around. If you put it outside, they don't know what to hunt for and they'll probably get eaten by a bird. So if that's your thing, that's fine. I try not to, you know, I don't like sticky traps in our garage, mostly because it's caught a mouse or a field mouse or a lizard, and I don't like having to kill those things because they're just struggling on sticky papers. I frickin' hate that. But yeah, I try to leave the spider. But I tell Beth, I'm like, if you see spiders, because your schedules are off. She doesn't like that at all. Somehow that makes it seem like they have day planners. And so looking at this, it's 123 parts. It's a little big, but I honestly don't know that I'd do anything different with it. So for the instructions, I'm going to go ahead and save this, but I'm going to I'm going to hide him. So we're not, I think he's enough of a, where's the submodel? Yeah, he's at the end, so we can forget about him. And I've already got a render with this guy, so I don't even need it anymore. Yeah, exactly. I don't go looking for killer whales. Okay, so as usual, starting off, we didn't really do anything. We got to replace some of these 1x2 plates again because reasons. Doesn't look like there's too many. Yeah. Okay, so we'll get rid of these two in here. By 2 plate. So how's everybody doing? How's your weekend so far? Sounds like you got some plans. Some stuff going on. Anybody doing any Lego shopping? Are you excited about any upcoming Lego models or anything like that? Johnny said he was prepping for racing. We got somebody at the beach. I mean, jumping spiders can be people's pets. Like, I've seen plenty of videos where they're like, you know, they're holding a jumping spider. I saw one that was hilarious. There was a little pole next to somebody's hand, and the jumping spider would crawl up the pole and jump to their finger, and then run down and crawl up the pole again and jump to their finger. Like they're running down a slide. It was adorable. Oh yeah, going to the brick rodeo. I'm not going to do that. I thought I was going to do that, but I want to do this instead. So have fun with that. I know I need to get to more of those. The only thing I don't like about this model necessarily is these under inverted curve slopes. They have these studs hanging out here, but I don't have a better way to deal with that. I do like the stripes here. And I love, so this ship, Providence class Dreadnought, or is it a carrier? Providence class Dreadnought. All right. It has this weird hook on the front of it, right? This weird little bit right there. And I really like the solution that I had was to put a sword. This is one of those Urukai swords with the funny hook on it. And I think that looks really good. I was really happy with that. Yeah, everything else on here looks fine. Like, I don't think I'd change much about this. Like, it looks like that. So, yeah, we're going to leave it as is. Oh, you know what I might do Is there a back end view of this thing? It's got these like radiating heat sink bits on the thrusters. I might change those to, those are just plates. If you do the flour like this, what colors do those come in? Oh, just the gray. Okay. Nah. Just leave that. Okay. So let's get on with the instructions. Let's replace this plate here. This needs to be a plate that is trans yellow. Okay. And then we'll have to look for other 1x2 plates that are a problem. That one's inside there. That's great. Can't get to that one yet. Okay, show all. I think that may be all of them. Do we have anything in here? No? Okay. All right, so now we'll take everything and put it to step 2. Get rid of step 3 and 4. And we've got step 1. Good. Okay, this is where we want. Sorting while listening. Excellent. So, I don't know if some of you know this. I posted something online about it. I think Beth posted it, everything, and I don't think I've streamed since then, but had some pain in my chest last week. Went to the hospital. These look like they're not really on there. They must be the grooves. We did the Kalahari, and please, if I've already talked about this, I cannot talk about it again. You just let me know. Last week we did the Kalahari event, and everything was fine. And afterward, and I have high blood pressure, so the concern is always treat the high blood pressure, eat better, and lower your cholesterol. I'm not on cholesterol medicine yet. But it's always a concern. My dad also has high blood pressure. My mom has blood clotting diseases. She has blood clotting issues and has, I think, factor 5, which is a blood clotting issue. But I think it's not factor 5. It's like something related to that. Anyway, so always a concern that I've got, I have to keep an eye on that kind of stuff. So after the event at the Kalahari, I started getting pains in my chest, and I got home, ordered, brought some dinner home, dropped the dinner off, ate it, took a friend's dog for a walk. They were out of town, came back, and I was telling Beth, I was like, I'm not feeling really good. Like, my chest is kind of like achy and sore, and I get rib pain all over the place. I get indigestion pain. I've got ribs that cramp all the time. I sleep funny, and everything gets sore. So this necessarily wasn't really a concern, but then I started getting nauseated. Like, I was like not vomiting nauseated, but I was like, oh, I feel like you get that pre-anxiety flutter where you're like, something's weird. And then it felt like it was starting to creep up my neck, right? I'm like, I think I need to go to the ER. So I went to the ER, and from there on, it was just one thing after another. Got a CT scan, got an X-ray, talked to the doctor. Because of past history, they admitted me to the hospital, so I had to take an ambulance ride over to the hospital, where they put EKG stickers all over me. Well, I had EKG stickers on from the ER. They did a bunch of... They got me all hooked up. They got an IV in me with fluids, but no pain. At the ER, I got nitroglycerin twice and morphine, neither of which really did anything. Because turns out it was probably muscular or skeletal. I'm spoiling the end of the story here, but it was probably muscular skeletal, and it wasn't a heart issue. There's, and I forget what it's called, chondritis or something like that, I forget, but it's where your muscles attach, or your ribs attach in your spine, and then they come around and then they attach in your sternum. And along the way, they have different areas where they kind of float and separate, right? If they get too inflexible in your back, they can have a hard time moving in the front. And the pain is so close to your heart that it can mimic a heart attack. It can mimic heart problems. So I think what I did was, while I was moving this big heavy box of flyers, and Bev and Missy know how heavy that box of flyers is, but it's only like this big. So I think I underestimated, had to put it into my car at a funny angle, something, probably hurt it. Because while we were at the ER nurse, who was fantastic, was doing all these tests, asking me all these questions. She saw the tattoos and was like, she was a big gamer as well, so we talked games. It was really great. And she's like, so when did you notice it hurting? And I was like, well, I was at home, and it started hurting when I got home, and this was a couple hours ago. I was like, I noticed, like, when I take a deep breath, it hurts more. Like, if I move funny, it hurts. And she's like, does it hurt if you poke it? Because you keep rubbing it. And I'm like, yeah. And she comes over and kind of pushes on it a little bit. She says, does that hurt more? And I'm like, yeah, that actually is very uncomfortable. She's like, well, that's not your heart. I'm like, really? She's like, I can't make your heart hurt by pushing on you. Like, that's not a thing. Like, it's probably muscular or skeletal. So then the doctor comes in and asks me all the factor questions. And because I hit all the numbers, that's why I got admitted. So then the next day, kept pushing. I needed a stress test. That was the one test I hadn't had yet. And I needed a stress test. So I did all the other things. And I needed to do a chemical stress test. But it got pushed back a day because one of the people who worked at the hospital had a death in the family. So they had to push all their tests back one day. And I'm like, all right, well, your death in the family is now costing me money. So I feel bad for you, but I don't know who you are. It's very heartless, but I've got stickers all over me for EKGs, and I've got a IV just sitting in my arm, and and they're like, all right, try to get some sleep. And I'm like, I can't. I don't have my fan. I don't have my dogs. I don't have my CPAP. So Beth went home and she picked up the CPAP, and she came back and they got a cot for her, and she spent the night there. So we spent all the next day, so all Sunday in the hospital waiting for the stress test. And they finally said, we'll get you scheduled tomorrow for it. We couldn't get it scheduled today. There's too many people got pushed back. So I spent another night in the hospital. Next morning, and each time they're like, okay, well, we're going to try to schedule for your stress test. You can't eat anything after midnight. So like when I first got to the hospital, it was like 2 a.m. They're like, don't eat or drink anything else till we get you a stress test. So it was like 2 or 3 in the afternoon when we finally figured out we're not getting one. So I could finally get some food. So I got dinner. And then they're like, that's it. You can't eat anything or drink anything after midnight because we'll want to get you a test in the morning. And then the test in the morning was at like 10. So I'm like, I had 1 or 2 meals over 48, almost 56 hours or something. I was miserable. I had a headache. I hadn't had any coffee. It was not fun. So finally got all the stress tests done. And... oh, there's another 2x2 plate. Dang it. Is it right there? And got sent home. Clean bill of health. Nothing wrong. Blood pressure was high. They did give me some blood pressure medicine, but no other pain meds. I think I got Tylenol for my headache. Like, my headache was the worst part of being there. Headache, stickers couldn't move around. They kept pulling off. Because I'm so hairy, all the EKG or all the heart monitor stickers were peeling away. And they'd have to constantly come in the room and check it. And I'm like, could you put it somewhere that's not as hairy? Because I can't do it. I can't move. I can literally, like, if I move slightly, they'll just rip away. So they redid it a bunch of times, and it was... Anyway. So then I took the next day off as well. Everything's fine. Like I told I sent a message to my cardiologist and honestly haven't heard back from them. And I'm kind of like, okay. Oh no, food poisoning. So I asked them about that, Johnny. They said that they used to shave people. And I was waiting for the razors to come out and have them shave little spots and do that. They're like, yeah, we stopped doing that because it ended up causing ingrown hairs and abscesses and rashes and stuff like that. So we stopped doing that. They're like, we do clippers now. But as they say this, they're not doing clippers. They're just putting it on the hair. And I'm like, so go get the clippers. Like, I'll shave myself. And Beth's like, well, we could wax you. And I'm like, by the time this is done, I will be waxed. I thought I selected all these guys. I guess not. So, long and short of it, I spent Saturday night in the ER, Sunday wee earlies of the morning, and then all day Sunday in the hospital, and then Monday until about 3 in the afternoon in the hospital. And again, strong like bull, nothing wrong with the old ticker. They did say your blood pressure is high, so and I was like, I'm on blood pressure medicine, and I have a cardiologist and we meet regularly. So, I mean, I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah, so this is good because now I have, I've had a stress test before because I was having pains, and I, then went to the hospital, for another time where I felt like I was having chest pains and it was hurting my arm. But again, they couldn't find anything. So they're like, well, and this was in the middle of the night. So they're like, it may have been a circulation issue. Like you fell asleep on your arm and may have had this issue going on. But they're like, we've done the sonograms, we've done the EKGs. You seem fine. I'm like, okay. So not worried about that. But yeah, that was harrowing. But knowing that it wasn't my heart now, every time I talk to anybody, they're like, oh my God, are you okay? We heard you had chest pains and went to the hospital. I'm like, not chest pains, I'm fine. Thank you very much. So that was the story of that. Don't see anything else that attaches down there, so now I'm going to do some layered hiding. Nope. That gets rid of everything. That also gets rid of everything. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, that's what it is now. I'm like, it's literally like conochondritis. I'm gonna look it up. Rib pain mimic heart attack. Costochondritis. So I wonder if they've got a picture in here. They don't. So this is basically what it is. So all this stuff in here, like if these start, because they're all attached in your spine, if that gets stiff, these have a hard time moving. And so because it's right there, it mimics, like if you pull any of that, that can be really scary, right? So yeah, it's very old man stuff. Very old man stuff. I saw a picture of myself at the event we did recently, and I'm like, I need to lose weight. I look like the Goblin King from The Hobbit, like just this round, spindly-legged thing, and I'm just like, bleh, you know. So that's probably why. All right, so these are, where are those? Can't really see. I guess those are next. I think there are two of those. Let's do this. No, just the two. What's in here? Just a big block. All right, big block. Good, 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 good. But I've found out that sleeping with the CPAP I can do, because I've been having off and on problems with the CPAP. It's not comfortable. I can't really figure it out. But we brought it to the hospital, and it was not the reason I couldn't sleep. And then when I got home, it worked great. Like I think I'm past that. I don't think it's working kind of thing. I still don't think it's really doing anything. But at least now when I put it on at night and go to sleep, I fall right asleep. Like sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll take it off and I don't even know I've taken it off. Like I'll wake up and go, why did I take that off? You know, and I'll try to put it back on. But by then it's like 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm like, I'll get another hour sleep. But yeah, I really need to get back into, because just doing some yard work. I know I need to do yard work. I will twitch all over the place from that. So it's not good. I really need to get back into doing like regular exercise. It doesn't even have to be like I'm in it to lose weight. It just needs to be so I don't die when I do housework or when I do yard work or when I go to the soccer games, right? So the ladies got a gym membership for a place close by that I might start joining them on, and just walk, do some weight training. See how that goes. Put this there. I think there's another thing in here that I can't see. Hide all this. There isn't. Okay. There's got to be. There's a... It's down there. Okay. But yes, getting old stinks. All right, have fun at the sort. We'll see you guys later. I'll see you at the next... If I don't stream again, I'll see you at the next meeting. Wear your shirts. Oh, the shirts. The shirts. Johnny, I have a question for you. If you can linger for a second. Not a lot. 2 times a week, like... Yeah, and I mean, I could do stuff like that at home. I could just do push-ups at home. There's lots of, like, body weight stuff that you can do without having to go to a gym. Like, there's lots you can do just to be active. You know, you don't have to go to a gym. Having the access to a gym gives you a little more range of motion, gives you more options, but there's absolutely a ton of stuff that you can just do from home to help with this kind of stuff. So I will be looking at all options. I don't know why that has to be blue, but whatever. I was going to say something. I was going to ask you, has your lug, and Scott, I don't know if you're in a lug or not either, or Mayo. I don't think Mayo is. I think you said you're too far away from a lug. We are having weird things going on with our lugs. Sorry, fan communities. The whole LAN changing to fan collab is bringing with it a lot of stress and strife and a bit of panic from lug members, because initially when we met, like all the ambassadors met with the LAN people, and they're like, look, we're changing all this stuff, but all it really means is we're kind of changing the names of it. So we want everybody to kind of like reapply with their group. And anybody who wants to be part of this again, you're just going to automatically be accepted. So just apply and we'll figure it all out later. We're like, all right, cool. Everybody applies, right? And then we got word that some people are not being accepted back into it. And one of them, a sister lug in Texas, because they didn't have enough photographic evidence on their social media of the group being together wearing matching clothing, like club shirts or something. And we're like, what the actual F are you talking about? So they're like, yeah, so we have to reapply. They didn't tell us why. When we found out, we were a little taken aback because there wasn't any requisite in the paperwork that we got. Like and everyone's just like freaking out. So like the disgruntled Facebook page, the kind of secret Discord that all the ambassadors are on, are all like, what's going on? And we're all like, there's been a few of us who have been constantly pushing back on the land going, I'm sorry, you're a multi-billion-dollar company. Do you really need your fan hobbyist groups to market for you? Like, we're buying from you already. Why do you need to use us to then market for you? But then you're not supporting us like you would if we were doing that work for you. But yet you're supporting a lot the YouTubers who do this all the time, who aren't really being creative. Like, they're just building the sets. And another sticking point was it's now fan collab, and then underneath it are fan communities and fan creators. The fan communities are the lugs. The fan creators are what was the recognized fan media. So all the Instagrams and TikToks and YouTubes and stuff like that, and Twitches. And so all of us all the lug ambassadors are like, all we do is build MOCs. Are we not the creatives? Like, the YouTubers just build sets that you send them. That's not creative. They're like, oh, but they're creating content. It's like, oh my God. It's just this big sort of... So it's in the middle of all the nonsense right now. And Beth is just like, I don't understand. It's still a kid's toy, right? And I'm like, I know. It's just so much drama. Yeah, we have a shop where people can buy lug shirts, but they're all different kind of like... There's one that just has like a brick on it that says Tex Lug, which is kind of our logo. It's like a yellow brick with a logo, with a minifig smiley face, and it says Tex Lug. Then there's other ones that are like a pumpkin that's got it on it, or a bat that's got it on it, like different little minifig things that have the word on it, but it's just different, like whatever you want, a Christmas tree, something. At no point were we looked through, I looked through the thing again, and it really didn't say, in order to be part of this group, you have to have a social media presence that indicates that you have a cohesive branding element. And it's like, I didn't really see that. Like, and if it was a recommendation or a suggestion. It wasn't a requirement. So the fact that somebody got nixed from that is just throwing everybody into a tizzy. Yeah. So until this is really pushed out, which is going to be more, Scott, over the summer is like when they're starting it now, but it's going to be mostly over the summer. They aren't saying. I 100% agree, Johnny. And again, I'm pushing back, and I've told my group, I'm like, if it comes down to this, I'm going to drop out. Somebody else can be ambassador. I don't even know if I want to be part of the group after this. And it's nothing against the group. I might still just meet up with the group occasionally, and I'm still friends with them. But in terms of like dealing with the fan collab now, not LAN, but the fan collab, which sounds like such a hedge fund investment banker phrase, fan collab. It's, Lug was cool. Lego user group, Lug. We're part of a Lug. It was quick, and it was really easy to go, well, I'm in a Lug. It's a Lego user group. And everyone goes, oh. And the whole reason they wanted to get away from that, and they're like, we're going to stop using Lug. We're going to stop using AFOL. We're going to stop using all these terms that are like acronyms because they're dense and they're inapproachable, and it drives people away. It's not open for everybody. And we're like, only because you're not doing it right. Like, we have no problem getting new people calling ourselves a Lug. Again, us being the marketing arm, because, okay, so Fan Collab, there used to be like a community management group within Lego. And that's been slowly taken over by the marketing group. So all of the fan stuff is now under marketing, which means marketing wants to, instead of Lego supporting the fan communities, Now they are trying to use the fan communities, and it's ugly and it feels icky. I don't like it. And again, if I don't like, if I feel like nothing's changing after this, I'm not going to be part of it. I can't be part of a group that's like, you have to wear shirts. Like, to my hobby group, I'm part of a soccer supporter group. We happily wear team colors and team shirts and whatever other shirts that we get. We happily do it to support the club. But if the front office for our soccer team said, we will not recognize you as a supporter group, we will not allow you to create tifos, we won't help you with marketing, we won't do any of the communication and collaborative stuff that we do with supporter groups unless you wear this specific clothing, I'd be like, I'm out. There's no way they'd do that. They would lose the supporter group so fast. I don't think they know what they're doing. I don't think Lego knows what they're doing with this. It's brain dead octopus again, you know? Because then there's like, somebody said that they emailed Josie, which is another person on the group. Josie, I forget what his last name is. And he's like, no, that's not what it is at all. You know? And we're like, would you tell these other people, you know? It's so dumb. I'm so very loosely paying attention to what I'm doing with these instructions. I may have to go back and redo a lot of this, but we're going to hide this just to see what's in here. I figured this was in here. I think that's good. I think that's a good start. We're not getting too crazy out of the way with this kind of stuff. These guys can also have these guys. Where are these guys? Those are in step 3. I can put these guys in step 3 too. So it's just kind of a mess. Like, I want to go back to the day where the biggest thing we'd have to worry about is like where we're going to meet month to month, and that's still a concern. Well, yeah, I mean that, but that's not the group that, I hate to say it, but that's not the fan group's problems. Like, here's the issue I have. The internet is what's killing it. Thanks to social media starting in 2009 and 10, Lego has determined that one person who gets 10,000, 100,000 views per video is more important, and them just doing nothing but opening their own packages is more important to them than a group of 30 or 40 people who yearly will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their product and organize events with several thousand people in it a year, right? They're less important than the one person who will open products for them. So, and if they want to burn down their fan base with it, I guess that's what they'll do. I will happily keep making my own stuff. Like, I probably won't stop streaming. I won't stop making microfighters. I won't stop building giant buildings. Like, but yeah, losing lug bulk will hurt. Losing project support will hurt, because then we can't do big projects. You know, we'll still buy our own pieces, but we won't be able to get large pieces at a discount, which means those fan community events like Brick Rodeo, like Brick World Chicago, are gonna diminish. You know, we're not all independently wealthy, and we look for discounted stuff so that we can do these big things, which is just a big extension of, hey, come build with us. The other thing Lego really wants us to do is stop with the giant builds to show people and make giant builds for people to be interactive with. And I get it, but I'm not building a giant model so I can have a bunch of 8-year-olds come paw all over it, put their hands all over it. If you want me to build a little maze on a plate, on a 32 by 32 plate, and have them build a mosaic or make little flowers or something like that, that's fine. Provide that for my group. I'm not going to spend my money on something that somebody else is going to be touching all the time. I'm not. I'm not going to spend all that time designing something that's going to get destroyed or that is up to somebody else to build, up to interpretive incorporation. Like, if you want us to do this more, that's great. You help us by providing bricks for us to do that. Don't just think that we've got all this stuff here so I can just let kids into my house and build whatever they want. I could do that on my own and I would get arrested. I have lots of feelings about this. I didn't realize how like uptight I was about this whole thing, but it's super frustrating. Because you do feel like you're taken advantage of a little bit. It's kind of like, well, what have we been doing for you guys for? So this is how out of touch I think, because this guy came up at the last event that we were at, which was amazing. I'll have to talk about that a little bit too. And it's me and it was just me by myself, and then we had one other group member come up a couple hours before the end to help out and stuff. And so it's just me mostly. With my Q2 Stadium and a couple Microfighters and a couple... I'm going to put this guy on last. I think he's going to go back down here for a while. I'm going to make this a group. So me and a handful of builds and then like 2 tables worth of loose brick for people to play with, right? I have a big lug sign. I'm wearing a yellow shirt with a minifig head on it that says "Have a nice day." Not lug branded, but lug branded at the end of the table. Lug branded. I also have Brick Rodeo stickers and pens all over the place. I also have my QR code out there, right? So I thought it was going pretty well. Anyway, this guy comes up and he's like, he sees everything and he's like, "Are these yours?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I designed all these. This is our group. It's an adult fan of Lego group that we meet once a month. This is the convention we're putting on. Feel free to play with some stuff and build some stuff while you're here. If you feel like taking a flyer or sticker, that'd help us out." And he goes, "So do you have any of the smart brick here?" And I was like, "Okay, no." Bye, Mayo. Thanks for stopping by, man. By the way, the shares of adults buying versus a few years ago. Yeah. I'm going to guess it's a really weird swing of more affluent adults are buying Lego now than in the past, because the Lego sets that adults want are pricier versus years ago. They were just getting sets because of nostalgia, and they now have adult money and they can buy kind of whatever they want, and they were buying just about anything. And that sort of changed into who we are now, the older late 40s, early 50s, 60s, who are buying the big UCS sets and the big whatever sets. But I think there's also comes a point where I'm almost at where I'm not buying sets anymore. Like I might, next year I'll buy some sets, I think, but even like Minas Tirith, I'm like, that looks great. I don't have a place for it. I could spend $600 on something else. I don't need the parts. I kind of like making my own stuff. We've had a few age out of the lug being like, I don't need to do this anymore. I've got enough brick to do whatever I want from now on. I know where to get it. I don't need to buy sets. So a guy comes up and asks about smart brick, and I was like, "Oh, sir," I was like, I'm the wrong person to ask. And he's, "Oh, really? Why?" I was like, "Because I think they're stupid." And he kind of looked shocked, and I was like, "It's not for everyone. I get it." Zissou, how's it going? Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. I don't like how this one piece looks really... It's just a rendering thing, but it just looks like it's off. You see that? I was like, I think smart bricks are gimmicky. I said every few years Lego comes up with a reason why they're not doing just lighted sets or things you can program. I was like, I would rather they get into if they're going to do this, get into the educational side of it. Allow us, or allow whoever, to program these things, right? Don't close it off behind, you got to buy all these tiles that do MIDI files. Nobody cares. Buy stuff where you can program it and make your own stuff. You know, that would be interesting. He's like, yeah, like Mindstorms. You can still get those. And I'm like, nope. 3-4 years ago, they got rid of Mindstorms. Like, you can't do that. They've got Spike now, which is like kind of it, but you have to have a smartphone. It won't work without a smartphone. As much as everybody with the Smart Bricks crew came out and said, we're trying to get kids away from screens. Meanwhile, the programmatic educational part of it requires screens. And you're like, oh, God. So I was like, if you want to go out and find it, and if you think it's great, and if you like it, I'm really glad you like it. I was like, it's not for me. I said, this time next year, we won't even be talking about Smart Bricks. And he's like, really? And occasionally we'll get a educator or something coming in, and I really like talking to them about it, because I think that's kind of where I feel Lego needs to be going, is more the educational route. And they just aren't. Okay, I'm going to put this guy on now. Okay. Yeah. 100% Zissou. You communist, you. How dare you? How dare you? Alright, so the back end's done. I think along this side, I'm also going to put this in with those guys. So that's one step. Yeah, that's good. Well, and it's because we're in failed late stage capitalism. We're going to be crushed under the weight of the billionaires. We pay for other countries' care. Yeah, we pay, well, the irony is we pay for the military machine that goes over and creates new regimes in countries, and then we end up sponsoring their governments, which means we're sponsoring their health care. And over the last 100 years of us doing that in many parts of Europe, it has not helped us out at all. But we're not learning from our mistakes, and it just keeps happening. Zissou, one of my favorite things is to wander around the house doing chores. And I got my headphones on and I'm listening to an audiobook. And I get my chores done and I just pace the house. I just walk around listening to this book. Just walk around. It is a simple joy to be able to grab a book on a Sunday afternoon and just get in a chair and lose a couple hours. I love it. I like it a lot, and yet I find myself playing video games a lot instead. And I'm like, I gotta remember that this is really good too, you know. All right, this is on. These are on their own plates, I think. So let's do the front. So I'm going to stick this sword in here. Still one of my favorite design choices. Is there any new Lego news coming out? I haven't looked at Discord lately. The being in the hospital thing really took a bite out of my social media. Like, even like I had my phone with me, I had Wi-Fi, But I was just like, I couldn't focus on anything. Razor Crest. Oh, not really. So new Razor Crest. The Grand. Gift with purchase with Minas Tirith. Seems to be that's about it. There's some Brick Designer Program stuff is out. Nobody likes the new BB-8. The 8th BB-8. I don't know how many we're on now. Brick Search. Brickset now has an app called Brick Search. I have to look at that. Yeah, nothing really major. I think the big LEGO news, especially for user groups, oh yeah, I'm not going to get that either. It's funny because the Minas Tirith set is like 9,500, 9,800 pieces for $650. I'm like, that's amazing. That's like a really good piece count. And then the Razor Crest is like 90. It's like, how many pieces is it? It's like 800 pieces or something. $930 for $150. Yeah. Well, what was the other one that was like that? The was it the Justifier or the Night Buzzard? There was one that was like just egregious. Oh, it was a MIDI. It was the MIDI one. It was the wasn't the AT-AT. Was it Kylo Ren shuttle that was like $80 for like 70 pieces, or for like not 70. Like $90 for like 500 pieces or something, and everyone's like, heck no, there's no way I'd buy that. Yeah, you're gonna have to replace those bricks every couple of years, that's for sure. All right, then I think we've got this one long piece, and I think I can do this twice. So let's do this. This is gonna be that. It's going to be a group. And we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to do copy. I'm going to copy this and paste that, so they are the same things. Cool. Agreed. Yeah, they could add a couple more minifigures. That's, you know. Grievous's ship. Oh, the soulless, something soulless, whatever. The one that looked like a Spitfire. Yeah, that one wasn't great. That's true. Everyone wants to pay for Zeb. Everybody wants to get the Rebel crew together. The Ghost was expensive because it had Thrawn. Yeah. I got the new Ghost, but it was from Ahsoka, so it had Jason and Hera and random Mon Cal soldier, and then Chopper, and I forget who else. I think another Rebel intelligence person. Alright, so that's done. Now we need to put these in a new step. This is slowly turning... I hate this. This is slowly turning into Hive's channel. I don't want it to just be like rants and complaining all the time. But... You don't want a fan base to complain about it. Don't anger your fan base. All right, so this is going to be these two. I think I can just do, I'm going to do these 4. I think this can all be done as one thing and the exact same thing. We're going to try it. Start over. Yeah, it's just these guys. This set has a lot of pieces on it because it's different tiles to get these stripes. So that's where all the part count comes from. Okay, for a little fury every once in a while. He gets so mad. Why does he so mad? Okay, I can get, nope, just get rid of these guys. Oh, Johnny, you would appreciate this. Well, Johnny, Scott, Zissou maybe too. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I want to copy this. Again, if you want to do a ×2 on any group, find it here, go over to the step model and right click and say copy, and then just hit paste. So it pastes that copied group into the step. That way it tells the software this is a ×2. That's the easiest way to get that done. Yay! Oh, is your birthday in June too? Mine's at the end of June. I'm looking forward to not really Masters of the Universe. We did get our Grogu Mandalorian tickets, so we're doing that this coming Thursday. Kind of looking forward to the Spielberg Alien movie, like Disclosure or Disclosed or something like that. I forget what it that. Kind of looking forward to that, although it's going to be kind of like a. It's, you know, I'm not going to be surprised by the cover-up kind of movie, but I'm hopeful. It's a Spielberg movie. It'll be good. Masters of the Universe, we might go see that only because our friends, our couple friends, the guy has a massive crush on Alison Brie. So we'll probably go see that because of that. As Evil Lynn. And it's funny because I was like, Alison Brie is Evil Lynn, huh, Dan? And he was like, I can change her. I'm like, okay. Nice. All right, so we got these guys in here. Something else big coming out, I thought. Yeah, she is. She is. We watched, is it Together? With her hubby, Dave Franco. Ooh. If you don't like body horror, do not watch that movie. That was weird. Kind of didn't make sense a little bit. There was a couple parts that were like, what? But it was a good body horror piece, I thought. Oh, man. Okay, remind me, when you buy Lego sets with these pieces in them, they're generally together, right? The antennas and the the levers that go in the bases. I don't remember ever having to put those two together. They do come separate, like if you want, but I think in a Lego set, they come together, right? So it's okay for me to maybe go back through and I think I'm going to change these to be one piece. So I don't have to worry about Not to film together. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't have to worry about... Oh, also you have to put these two pieces together. That one's going to be one step. I hate doing that with one step, but... So yeah, on some other good news, the Avalanche, Colorado Avalanche, are in the Western Conference Final. They will be going up against the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Not my most hated team in terms of hockey, but I don't necessarily like them all that much. So I hope the Avs beat the crap out of them. She hasn't been building... Thank you for asking. She's doing okay. She's still having, like, abdominal pain as well. And she's due for, like, an ultrasound on some stuff. We have gone to the ER for her a couple times because the pain has been so great she can't function. And it's resulted in different CT scans and different x-rays and stuff. And the latest was that... the doctor came back and said, have you had diarrhea or anything like that recently? And she's like, well, there's another further joke in this where she has what's called millennial ass, where you're either like, at some point, everybody who is a millennial and younger just has bad bowel issues. They're either constipated or diarrhea all the time. Like there's no in between. It was a joke done by Nish Kumar. And Beth laughed really loud at it because she's like, she has that problem. So she's like, no, I really haven't. But I have like IBS. So I'm like always kind of not really consistent. He's like, okay, well, the scans of your lower, like your intestines look like you just went through a bout of diarrhea. Like you had food poisoning or something. She's like, no, and he's like, okay, well then you might be having that soon. And she's like, oh, that's not good. Something called floating loops or dilated loops. But that can be a sign that can be causing some pain because it's like pressure and it's like inflammation and all this stuff. So she's not really, she doesn't have 100%, but like the cysts on her ovary aren't coming back, but she's not really sure. Like it's like you go to the doctor and they'll rule things out, but they don't necessarily tell you what it is. They just want to rule things out and then like Occam's razor tell you what the thing is that's hurting. So but currently she's okay. She really wants to stop working so hard at her second job, but it's retail and they keep losing people. So they keep asking her to like fill in and stuff. And, she's like, I do have another job. Like, I like it here, but you guys can't keep... She works like 7 days a week now, you know? In terms of Lego, I reminded her the other day that she's got 4 or 5 unopened sets. And I was like, hey, you should... And then every time she's stressed out about something, I was like, hey, you should... build some Lego. She's like, yeah, I know. What is that plate in there? Where did that come from? Oh shoot. All right, we'll back up. Oh, you know what? This would be a good spot for it. Step 15. Yeah, that makes sense. Bam, bam. Perfect. Now, all done. Should just be 3 pieces down here. Did I miss a... Is that not part of the group? Oh, it's an extra piece. That's funky. This we'll do as a group, and we'll do a... Okay, cool. So we'll save this. Yeah, I keep asking her as like a stress relief to, you know, if she wants to keep building. She's like, I really do need to. And then goes back to watching Grey's Anatomy and doom scrolling on her phone. She's the one with 2 jobs, so I don't push things. She's a grown-ass person who can figure stuff out on her own. Oh, there's lots of Lego sets I'm looking forward to. Let me go through real quick, because I do need to like keep a list of... So I'm not buying anything in 2026 because I'm trying to save up for our trip to the UK at the end of the year. So I told Beth, I was like, I will... And there's still like, I'm probably still going to buy like Bricklink stuff for MOCs for Brick Rodeo, but no sets. I won't buy any sets. And I told her, I was like, there's going to be some big sets coming out. Minas Tirith is one of them. A couple Star Wars things, but I will hold off until next year so I can... So I'm trying to keep a list, like mental list mainly, of like what's been coming out. So if we look at the new stuff that's coming out, I actually kind of like the N1 Starfighter. I would not mind having that. I think it's a neat looking build. It's not super high on my list, but I wouldn't mind it. Like, I think it would look good with the other UCS sets. It's very sleek looking. I think it'd be fun to put together. I do want the mushrooms. I really like the botanical stuff lately. I do want the DC3. I'm just a big plane nerd, so that's another one. I do want these guys. I could almost get these and not worry about it because it's $20, but I think it's the principle of the thing. They would go really well with the blue and yellow ones. No desire, no desire, no desire. I mean, I do like the fossil, but I didn't get the T-Rex one, so not really. I'm okay not getting this. I'm okay not getting this. The mountain bike just had me scratch my head. I'm like, who? What? No idea what that's about. This looks like it would be a fun build, but I'm not a Tintin fan. But the techniques look interesting. Like, I wouldn't mind just putting this together. I don't need to keep it. But also, I want their figures. I love the spacesuits. I think these would be useful in all kinds of stuff. Like, I wouldn't mind getting all kinds of spacesuit, little air canisters on the sides and everything. I think these would be great. So I might try to find some of the figures. And there's 5 per set. So, I mean, there's a lot of these out there. I don't necessarily have to have the heads and hair pieces that go with it. But the suits themselves are great for space stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Not a Harry Potter person. None of this. None of this. Yes, I want I want the Monet. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. I do want to see if I can find this lady, the steampunk lady, to populate our steampunk city. If I can grab a couple of those maybe before then. Some things in here I really like. I like the little fish. There's a Bionicle person. I've never was a Bionicle person, but it's pretty cool. There's a little ferret or something right there. No desire for this. There's not even figures I want in there. I like the Fantastic Four Herbie robot. I think the building techniques on this would be fun. Not high on the list, but I still think this is kind of neat. None of this. Oh, talk about big nope for me is all this soccer stuff. That just... That pose even. I'm just like, what? Okay, anyway. No Pokemon stuff. Don't really care. Sally's flower pot actually looks fun. I like these printed leaves. Those are good parts. Don't care, don't care. Had one. Don't need another one. Don't care. Maybe on the brick heads for the TMNT. 100% getting this. 100% getting the buildable classic space guy. I'm hoping these hit our grocery stores so I can just scan the QRs and get the steampunk lady, and that's it. Let's see. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Don't care. Don't care about any of this. I still want to get the Artemis rocket launch system, the Technic. Honestly, don't care about this set. It's just a battle pack for the most part. Don't care about Messi. Don't care about Messi in general. Man, there's so many people who are excited about this. Now, I will say something about this set. It's a shoe. But these pieces right here, these like, they're not prismatic. They are, what's the term I'm looking for? They're translucent, but there's another term. It starts with a P. Forget. Anyway, those pieces look incredible. I wouldn't mind doing a draft of this set minus the figure because there's a lot of great pieces in here. But for $100, this thing needs to come down to 70 before I even think about it. But for 1,200 pieces, $100 isn't bad. And these nice translucent prismatic something. Forget what those are called. It's not. It's like pearlescent. I'm gonna look this up because maybe. What set number are we on here? And I'm gonna get the Bricklink version of the part because Lego will call it something Danish, and I don't really know what their words mean sometimes. Parts. Prestige Premium. Zeb Premium. Opalescent? I think it's opalescent. Before I even get there. The word just like fell out of my mouth and I wasn't even really sure I was saying it. I'm like, opalescent. Yeah, these colors. What? Give me the actual... Satin trans clear. Thought it was opalescent, but it's satin trans clear. So there's some of these pieces like that that seem a little shimmery. Apparently it's satin trans clear. Oh, it was right there. I didn't even look it up. Yeah, new parts. So those are rad. These are really, really nice. In even a 1x4 tile, a 1x2 tile, forget about it. Like, I would buy just these parts. Because you can use them for, like, bigger things. Like crystal balls or dragons or fun plants in a fantasy setting. Or, like, they're really great. The fact that they're being used for bubble letters on a shoe, I'm like, bleh. Bleh. But whatever, I don't mean to yuck people's yums. If you want that set, go get that set. And vaya con Dios. This is cute. I like this. I saw this the other day and I didn't hate it. I don't even know where it's from, but I like the build. I like the kind of the big figures and little figures. It was kind of cute. Like it kind of, I know it's one piece and whatever, but I'm like... The big buildable figures as part of it was really whimsical, and I kind of like it. Yeah, the resellers in general, I'm not a fan of. There's a bunch of people I started following on TikTok because they said, hey, I'm into Lego, and I'm like, instant follow. And then I find out that that some people don't even build. They're like, look what I bought and look what I'm selling. And they've got like like one shelf of like 6 builds behind them, and I'm like, okay, well, go do this with real estate. Like, why are you doing this? Had one guy show up at the book event. Ooh, the book event I'll talk about shortly here in a second. Buildable figure for Darth Vader I might get. That's pretty cool. No effing way. No effing way. A guy comes rolling up to me at the book fair, and he's like, they're worth more than gold, aren't they? And I thought he was joking. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, do you have any that are like really worth anything? And I'm like, oh, you're serious? He's like, yeah, that's all I hear about is like, why invest in like precious metals? You got Lego sets. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you wanted to do that, that's fine. I don't. Like, I like building my own stuff. So I don't even have any unopened sets at home. I lied. I've got a few, but whatever. He just kept going on about it. I'm like, ugh. Have fun with that. I agree. Austin FC is terrible. Ugh, that game last night was... Ugh. These are great. I'm looking forward to these. I love all the pedals here. These are awesome. Looking forward to Minas Tirith, but that'll be a 2027 purchase, if anything. Of course, I'm going to get more flowers. Don't care, don't care, don't care, don't care. Don't care, don't care, don't care. They've already got the advent calendar starting soon. I actually might get the Star Wars one this time. It actually looked pretty good. Here you go. This doesn't look bad. A lot of ships. I like that. I like the cute little animals. That's good. Christmas X-Wing. I want the sweaters. That's all I want is the sweaters. A gray Jawa is great. Another IG-88. Even the building bench comes with like a Mando helmet there. So, not bad. I don't mind this one this time. I might do more shorts again at the end of the year. So, we'll see. Yeah, I was there last night too, and it felt gross. It's really hard to constantly be up for this team when they just look like they don't care. That looks like it's got some fun build things in it with the legs. $70 isn't bad for the amount of parts. That's a maybe. There's a big Iron Man that I want to get too. I didn't see it in here, but the big buildable Iron Man I kind of want to get. Yeah, it's weird that I didn't see it in here so far. These are all the coming soons. I might get the Genesis. I don't know yet. Ooh, that looks cool. I would get that just for the parts. For $30, this would be an amazing draft set. So yeah, like I don't have a ton that are already out that I want to get, and I can hold off. That koala bear set looks really fun, doesn't it? That looks just neat as heck. Look at all these plant parts. Just so cute. So there's a handful of art sets I want. Oh, Megatron. Hey, we're getting Megatron brickheads. So yeah, handful of sets that I want. Let's see, instructions. Don't show me this again. I must have reinstalled this newly. So let's see. Make sure everything looks good. And we get a view steps. Step before. Step before. Step before. Yeah, I need to go through and like add things to like my camel watch list, just to kind of add it to it so I know that, you know, when it comes up, even if I miss a sale, at least I've got a list. Or just go through like brick set and just mark want this, and then you can go through and say what your wanted list is. I don't like the way I think the Lego want list, sometimes I feel like it delists and relists stuff, so there'll be stuff that shows up weird. Like, I don't ever really use it. I don't go to Target anymore, Scott, so I'd be missing out on those Ninjago polybags. Might get them online if they show up. Camel is basically an Amazon wish list watch site, and you can basically create a watch list and put prices on it. So these are like the things I want. But let's say its base price was $60. I tell it to send me an alert when it's 10%, 20%, or a specific price below where it lists. This is only for Amazon. You can't do this for Lego. So I find it useful. Yeah, there's the... So yeah, here's some of the sets that I do want. I don't want this set. Why did I put this set on there? Rebuild the Galaxy. I really do like the Rebuild the Galaxy sets. I don't think I'm getting this one specifically for any reason. I think that's a Darth Plagueis, but I don't know. I didn't see the second Rebuild the Galaxy yet, so I'll have to go watch that. Yeah, and it's still Amazon. You can pick third-party things, but it doesn't look at Lego. So you can always still, like, Scott's still using Mercari. You can go to different sites to find it. But it also gives me an indication that, okay, they're selling it for sale on Amazon. I can check Bricklink sellers to see if anybody's likewise selling this set for a little cheaper, because they'll see the Amazon prices are dropping. So they may start dropping their prices too. So it's not always I'm doing this to purchase it. I'm doing it to kind of keep an eye on it. And a lot of times I'll just roll through the list and be like, oh, don't want that anymore. Don't want that anymore, you know. The made up characters. Yeah. For the build your galaxy. I do like that some of the characters in the first one are named after like retired Lego themes or lines. I thought that was great. Okay, so that should take care of both of those. I'm gonna do this one. And this will be these guys. And it will be... I'll do these guys. Yeah, it was like Sig Griebling, Scala was one, and I forget if there was another one or not. Well, the Sith guy, I think, is supposed to be Plagueis. I'm going to look this up real quick. I think it's supposed to be Darth Plagueis, and I think that's why it's such a big deal. It's not going to show me. Usually it'll have a... So he looks kind of like a Darth Plagueis, but he's got that like durian. I think that's the alien's name. Sig Griebling, Darth Dev, and Solitus. Okay, we're gonna look. Okay, we're just going down rabbit holes at this point. I want to see if this is an actual character. Oh, it's from Lego. Yeah, a Duros. Okay. Force Henge on Dathomir and brought his apprentice, Bobarian Afal. I mean, these names are just... Yeah, Sig Griebling. It's just so fun. Like I actually really like. I hate to say it, but when like the Sith Jar Jar came out, I'm like, this is an abomination. Actually, I want to do this differently. Because these need to be together. But then I realized where it came from. Damn it. And what they were doing with it. I'm like, okay, I get it now. That's pretty cool. I like the white Jedi, the white the Jedi Darth Vader, the surfer Luke. Just really fun. And I feel like this is... Never mind. My home assistant heard me say something, and they're like, what would you like to know about Star Wars figures? And I'm like, there's nothing you could teach me. If you like Ron Swanson and Lowe's, I know more than you do. Does Beth watch House of Dragons? When is House of Dragons? No, she doesn't. I do, and I agree, I can't wait. It's not as... it's terrible, but I still like watching it. I even like watching, like... I know that the Rings of Power got a lot of crap. I enjoyed watching it. Like, there's a couple, like, shrug moments for me, but I'm like... Not having 100% unfettered access to Tolkien's Legendarium, you're not going to be able to integrate a really good story, right? You just can't. They're like, okay, well, you can use the Second Age, but you can't reference any of the stuff from, like... the Peter Jackson movies, or like anything within these certain books. You can use these certain books, which are like unorganized appendix notes. It's like, okay, well, can we talk about this person? You know, it's like, okay, well, what can we do? And given that, I thought it was, you know, it wasn't perfect, but man, I'm also still salty about Wheel of Time. I was enjoying Wheel of Time. But I don't think they would have been able to land that, so who knows. And the kids may have aged out. So that should all be good. Yeah, I know more than you. Yeah, so I'll be watching House of Dragons. Very excited about that. Okay, so steps are done. We're getting close to the end of the time here, so we'll rifle through this real quick. Make sure the page looks okay. Everything in place. I'm not going to move. Is this a call out? Let's see if a call out fits. Yeah, that'll work. Just have to move the model. This definitely needs to be its own page for a second. Okay, that's good. That's a clunky way to do it. There's 4 of these. I wonder if I should turn it on its side. If that'll screw up the model. Because I think if you laid these down and then put the stuff on top of it and then on the sides, it wouldn't be as bad. But I'm worried that if I rotate it... Cancel step view. Let's see if I can, whoops. That needs to be, oh, change step view. Nope, not flip. Well, maybe flip? No. Just gonna rotate. It's not a view either. Close. There we go. Had to do a little XYZ math in my head. I'm like, see, now we can change this back. Yeah, that makes a little more sense. Okay. Good. 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 This can be a call out. Good. That can be a call out. And this can be a call out. And this is a different view. Cool, all done. So there we go. I'll probably, I think I'm going to call it now, but what I'll do is I'll get a render of it and make a splash page. Do my typical, I think I'm going to, you color it blue, whatever. Where's my slider? So we'll do global style, kind of this colorish. Well, I said global style. Okay. I like how, why did that not update global? Here we go. Okay. All right. And then, yeah, I'll put a bill of materials at the end. Insert bill of materials at the end. Where did I put that? Nope, not at the end. There we go. Insert bill of materials. Not over the top of it. Jiminy Christmas. After. I thought this used to do it just at the end and it didn't really matter. All right. And then I'll usually put a suggested minifigure in here as well. But the suggested minifigure is going to be wonky because I don't actually have one. So I might just say suggested minifigure is this one that by Big Kid Bricks and it's $200. And if you can't find it, try to kit bash something. And then I'll need to do an insert page up here. Insert page before. and this will be the same sort of so I have all these splash pages. It'll look like this, but it'll be, I have to get a render with a different one on it. So that's what it'll look like. So, all right. Well, that's all for today. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. If you ever have any questions about Studio or the process or anything like that, make sure to just ping me. I chat in Discord. I'm online perpetually. Love to answer any questions, even in chat while we're doing this. For if you're in Austin, we do have a lug meeting next week. Please try to attend if you're first timer. We'd love to see some new people. June 6th, we have 2 different tech slug events. We have one at the Pflugerville Library for Maker Fest, and I think there's gonna be like 5 or 6 lug members there. So go stop by, see what they're building. I'll give them some free brick to play with as well. We'll also be at Bricks and Brews at Austin Beer Works Springdale in the back room. We have lots of tables, lots of free brick to play with. I will be bringing my big stadium to try to test moving it back and forth, make sure it works okay for Brick Rodeo. So that should be there as well. Come hang out with most of these people are on Discord. Come hang out and chat. If you root for a sports team, I hope your sports team does well. If you're going to see movies, I hope you love the movies. And as always, I hope you get some brick building done. And play well, and we'll talk to you soon. Guys, take care. Bye.